Yo, welcome back to the Out of the Box Show. I'm John Wallace alongside my co-hosts James Luffy and Rory Luke. And wow, this honestly, as far as like sports news go, has been the busiest week in sports news in a very long time. The LSU basketball women's program pulled off the greatest hire in LSU basketball history.
A heist.
At UFC 260, was it 261? 261?
Sure, we'll go with that.
They had like 4 people break their legs, one completely in half. Absolutely insane. Masvidal got baptized, sent to the shadow realm. LSU baseball won a series against a ranked opponent. And then Sunday looked like they hadn't won a game all year after blowing a huge lead. We got Arkansas coming to the box this weekend. Mondo Duplantis jumping over things like you wouldn't believe, setting records like he's known to do. And then we're going to wrap up the show with the House Always Wins segment to give y'all some winners heading into the week. But before we do that, we got to shout out the home of the Out the Box podcast, the Boot Crew Media Network. Let me tell you something. Whenever you look at the Boot Crew Instagram page, I'm going to shout specifically the Instagram page, but also bootcrewmedia.com out. The content on there is absurd. So the last 7 posts are, one is a TikTok. The second one is the new Zion shoes that came out. The third one is about Teddy Bridgewater being traded to the Broncos. I wouldn't have even known that if I wouldn't have looked at that.
The
pink moon. I would have never known that there was going to be a pink super moon.
It wasn't even pink.
Whatever, Rory.
Super pink moon.
I mean, it wasn't pink though.
Yes, it was.
Okay. Well,
it's just known as a pink moon.
Anyway, the Boot Crew Media website, the entertainment's absurd. It's made to entertain you. There are so many articles. Our boy, our Out the Box columnist, Mr. Chris Calderera, wrote a fantastic piece on Kim Mulkey's historic hiring. It is up on the Boot Crew Media website. And I do want to give him an apology right now. Whenever he posted something to the website a couple weeks ago, he had texted me and I had forgot to promote it. He posted a recap of the LSU spring game. And I messed up, but that's why I'm making up for it right now. If you're still into LSU football and just need to catch up on the spring game or listen for what you missed or read what you missed, make sure to check that out.
Also, Boot Crew Media doing a giveaway right now, so go check out the giveaway.
Huge giveaway.
I think it's 2 Saints tickets, I believe.
They are giving away 2 tickets to the Saints home opener, a 2021 draft day hat, and a Boot Crew Media shirt. How about that?
We need a Boot Crew Media shirt.
That's what I'm saying. But I think they offered us a deal. We need to get them some Out the Box merch. So we'll go ahead and take care of that. Make sure to follow Boot Crew Media, boot_crew_media. And also our favorite trash sponsors, our favorite porta potty sponsors, our favorite container sponsors.
Tailgate sponsors. We got 100% tailgate back, no mask. 100% capacity in the stadium. People are going to be doing more things now. You got to call Martine over at Workbox. They have access to storage containers, dumpsters, portable toilets, shipping containers, the luxury restroom trailers, anything you need around the Louisiana area. Call Martine at Workbox. They're the best. They're the fastest. They have the cleanest toilets. We talk about it every single week.
You know who could have used a Workbox dumpster?
Who, Rory?
The LSU bullpen in the 8th inning of Saturday's game.
That is very true.
It's too early in the show to get to that. We're shouting out Workbox.
But call Martine at Workbox at 225-382-5250. Call Martine at Workbox.
Is that the right number? We got it.
It is the Maps, Google Maps number on the Workbox page.
All right. Make sure to call Workbox for any type of need. We say it like they're diverse. They do everything. So make sure to check out Workbox. Sorry. So, all right. I didn't tell you all this, but I arranged a special interview for this episode. We now welcome on to the Out of the Box podcast, Kim Mulkey. I'm kidding. I don't think you'd be able to get a hold of her right now at any
I don't
point
think so
because
either.
everybody has reached out to her. I think Kramer Robertson was on every single sports outlet surrounding LSU, like known to man. It was like I think he hit every channel, every show on 104.5. He hit the Colada show. He hit all of it, and he actually did pretty well.
John,
And
who?
he
John,
highlighted his mom, which I thought was really cool because he was always in the spotlight while he was at LSU, and now his mom is in the spotlight.
John, just wondering who started the Kim Mulkey to LSU talk? Who was the first one? Who was the first one on Twitter or anything
Do you know the
to
answer?
start it?
Are you asking me?
Yeah, no, I'm asking. I was wondering if you know.
I know the answer.
Who kind of got it going?
Was it Jordy?
It was James Luffy.
That is right, 100%.
What?
When Baylor lost the last game of the season, I put it on Twitter. I quoted it. It's up. You can see it. I said, "Bring us Kim Mulkey." I said, "Give us Kim Mulkey." I was the first one.
Oh, as in you were the one that tweeted to get it. You're like you were
I
instrumental.
was the first one who had the idea, and then someone saw that in
and
the
told
media,
Scott Woodward.
and it got back to Scott Woodward,
Yeah.
and I have not received one thank you. So I'd like to give you both the chance to thank me for bringing Kim back to LSU. I'm actually gonna pull up the tweet for y'all.
Yeah,
I would-
I
Thank you, James. You
Yeah.
you
You're
really
welcome.
you pulled off something great there.
yeah. I
To
mean,
pull a national champion, 3-time national champion,
Olympian,
yeah,
valedictorian.
from a school that she's been at for 20 plus years.
Kim Mulkey is one of the greatest winners just of all time. Her overall winning percentage as a player, as a coach, is ridiculous.
Yeah,
It is ridiculous.
it's definitely. I'm pretty sure it's in the Pat Summitt level of like the women's college basketball.
Yeah, I mean, I think there were over 800
yeah,
in conference, and that's supposed to be like teams that are hard to go up against.
Yeah,
that
teams
are
that you
at
see
your
every
level.
year.
They're on your level, same type of money and type of programs, but she just dominated them the entire time. So one of the best winners there is, and I'm so excited to have her.
That was my favorite part of the whole the whole day was about Kim Mulkey. That was the crazy part. They literally introduced her at a press conference at 5, and every time you check social media, there was a different. She made it all over campus. It was absurd, and the way they celebrated her, welcomed her there, and I think one of the most telling things about this hire is that they have had over 2,000 people request.
I was gonna mention that
tickets just because. They brought in this awesome coach. I want to live in an LSU world where women's basketball is at the top, right there, along with all the other sports programs. In 06, whenever the men's and the women's team made the Final Four in the same year, that was incredible. There was constant basketball to be watching, and I'll be honest with you, women's basketball. I think I might have watched a second or a series. In the last 10 years. And by bringing in Kim Mulkey, it immediately turns the program around, makes them relevant.
Yeah. I mean, and LSU definitely has a storied program. I mean, 2004, 2005, and 2006, back-to-back Final Four appearances, but no national championship, like she said in a press conference. And that's what she's planning to bring here. And, I mean, we also have like the alumni, like the Simone Augustuses of the world. There's powerful women basketball players that played here at LSU.
And she's really not trying to wind down her career either. I mean, some people might kind of speculate that, and she's getting all this money, but it's a long-term deal, and she still has the power to pick up Coach Paul Maneri. So, I mean, between those two things, I'm not worried about her winding down at all. I think she's still got that same energy and fire, and I'm very excited.
I mean,
to watch
she lifted
LSU's
him like
basketball
off the ground too, like clear off the ground. 6-7 inches,
easily
of clearance.
Zooming in on his feet.
I
don't know why.
He looked like a little kid.
Just his feet hanging, like just knowing that they're his feet. He absolutely. I mean, how much he can't weigh more than like. I don't know, 160, 170.
Yeah, no way.
That's what I'm saying.
Much more than that.
But even still, like to do that in heels, she was wearing heels as well. Like that was absolutely
honestly
incredible. And
one of the, I mean, it's probably when you put it all into context, one of the greatest hires in LSU history.
No, it is the greatest hire in LSU
Just,
history.
I mean,
Which hire would be better?
I mean, I don't know off the top of my head, but like to bring somebody of that pedigree into your school and pull them away from a school that they've been at for so long and I mean, it's really not, it's a step down in her job for sure. It's not a step up. Like Baylor is a much better women's basketball program than our program. Maybe not I guess historically under Mulkey, but like there's been success at LSU, but nothing like Baylor. And to bring somebody like that, national championship coach, it's like literally pulling like, I guess the way I would compare it is maybe like pulling Ohio State, pulling Urban Meyer from Florida to Ohio State.
Exactly.
I mean, something like that.
And the comparisons have been made. Like when LSU hired Nick Saban, he wasn't this massive name in college. He might have been up and coming and all that, but that'd be like if Nick Saban were to come take over the football program here. He would be in Alabama's eyes taking a step down, coming over here. But I think what really enticed Kim Mulkey, minus the coming home aspect, she's from like 30 minutes from here.
Yeah.
Was the opportunity to, she's already done everything she's going to do at Baylor. She might win a championship or two more and whatnot, but she built a program. And I think the power of coming home plus doing something new, rebuilding another program is only that's got to be what, made the final call there.
Yeah.
So, while we're talking about players that have had like, I guess relationships with people in their family, like multiple, family athletics or whatever.
Talking about great LSU families.
Right. So like Antoine Duplantis' brother, like he's been popping in the headlines lately.
Yeah. So Mondo came back and he jumped in like the LSU track and field, like alumni reunion thing. I mean, he is the best in the world. He's actually the best ever.
Yeah, I think he owns. At
he
this
owns
point,
a
he's
record.
chasing himself.
Yeah. He will when the Olympics happen this summer, right?
Yeah.
When the Olympics happen, he will win gold. For him to like come back from wherever training and I'm not even sure if he was in the States.
Probably not.
For him to come back to LSU and jump and like actually compete, he has a chance of injuring himself.
Yeah.
Like he could. I mean, I thought that was pretty cool. I mean, world-class athlete. I just wanted to mention that. Shout out Mondo.
Yeah, no doubt. And I think next when we were putting the show rundown together, this I think is going to be our longest and our most, I guess the most amount of topics in our new news segment. Getting into the recruiting class this coming year. I mean, as far as like the talent and the pedigree that we see coming into LSU. What are you guys' thoughts on where we're at this point and where we're going forward?
So, I mean, and me and James kind of texted about this the other day in our group.
Thanks for leaving me out.
I mean, I don't think you were a part of the text, but
no, I know. Appreciate.
The next 2 years.
How long has this text been going?
I mean, you're in the text message. I'm saying we just talked about it in our group chat, like in our Out the Box group chat. You were in it. You just weren't a part.
You just missed it.
Yeah, you just missed the conversation. Maybe you had a hard day at work that day. You were just really grinding.
He was on
if there is another text between y'all, I will find out. So,
it was in the group. I'm 100% positive. But
full scale investigation will be
the
launched.
talent in Louisiana in 2022 and 2023 is absolutely absurd. Some of the best talent kind of remind you of the 2014 recruiting class with Leonard Fournette and like Speedy Knoll, that kind of type of talent where you have multiple guys top 25 and you're touching like 3 or 4 guys in top 50. It's super important for LSU to get out there and just get the in-state guys. If we got everybody in-state these next 2 years, I mean, I don't think anybody could complain.
Yeah, I mean, Jacoby Matthews, who we got this past weekend's the number 1 safety in the country. He's around the number 10 player in the country.
Yeah.
From Ponchatoula, I think.
Yeah,
and
he went to Ponchatoula.
And then Walker Howard, another 5-star. So that's 2 5-stars just in Louisiana. And some people have
Campbell.
Campbell is a 5-star as well.
Yeah.
From North Louisiana. So that's 3 huge
Neville offensive lineman.
That's
Campbell.
3 huge recruits. I think we have 2 wide receivers committed now. I think they're going to try to add 2 more there.
There's another Louisiana wide receiver. I think he's in the top 60 or 70. He's still up there.
Yeah, and they're going after a couple big backs too, because they I think we need a star back in this class pretty badly.
And we're also up there.
And then Jake Johnson, which we talked about the other day,
week,
I think. Yeah, but I mean, to throw him in there, he's the number 1 tight end in the nation. So it's looking good. I think we're maybe in that top 1 or 1 to 3 ranking, depending on the site, and how the points are spread out. But we're up there, and this is how you build teams. I mean, you have to do it year after year. You have to stay in that top 5.
Yeah,
if you're going to be elite.
And I mean, this is just guys. The only people that we mentioned, except for Jake Johnson, are all Louisiana people. We're still in the hunt for, a top 3 defensive end. I think number 7 player in the nation, out of Florida. I forget his name, but we're in the hunt for top guys outside of our state, and getting these really good players coming out of Louisiana. So I think the future of LSU definitely looks bright, especially now with the current team, how it looks. You have a lot of, freshmen who got playing time last year coming in, going to get a lot of playing time, have a really good quarterback room, have really good quarterbacks coming up, a guy like Walker Howard. And then to even look ahead to next year, 2023, the number 3 player in the nation, Archie Manning, another Louisiana guy. Not saying that we're 100% going to get him, but it's very much looking up for LSU recruiting wise. And as a football team, after what we saw last year, I think you're not going to see that again for sure for a while.
Let's normalize having a stacked quarterback room. Like, it feels good. Like, we've talked about it before. It feels good to have guys like, a descendant of the Mannings, Walker Howard. It's stupid. I literally the other day, I've seen his huddle video so many times. I just pulled it up the other day just because I was bored, and I wanted to just get excited for the future of LSU. And with that kind of competition coming in, it motivates every single person on the team. I mean, Rory.
Yeah, it does.
When you have guys coming in that are threats to take guys' spots, what's the reason you go to LSU? 1, to win a national championship. 2, to make it to the NFL.
Speaking of NFL, big day tomorrow for some LSU guys.
Yeah.
NFL draft tomorrow, first round Thursday. I think, what do they do? Second round Friday, and second, third round maybe Friday, and then the rest on Saturday.
Yes, that's right.
So tomorrow, obviously, top 3 player Jamar Chase going to come off. Hopefully, I think everybody wants to see him go to the Bengals. The Bengals.
What is it?
The Bengals.
There you go. Flashback to when I got a text after Luffy said the Bengals, and a girl texted me after the show, and she said a bangle is something a girl wears on her wrist.
Yeah, they're like bracelets.
Yeah. Well, she just wanted to clarify for Luffy. But the Bengals, I'm in.
Yeah, I'm in. I think Jamar goes there, or Miami.
I think so too. And I will be backing that up in the House Always Win segment, but we'll get to that later. Another guy.
Is Terrace going to go in the first round? We'll just go kind of through.
Yeah.
From the highest. I think he does. All the mocks have him going to the Ravens.
Yeah, at what, like 26?
27 or 28.
Yeah, around that area.
And I think that's probably around where he should go.
Yeah, and there's a need there for the Ravens. They need a wide receiver. And I agree. I think he's definitely a late first round, early second round type of guy. And I think it's a guy that's going to impress when he gets somewhere. He kind of played third fiddle on the national championship team and was really our go-to guy last year, and then kind of just wasn't really able to showcase once Miles got hurt. Freshman quarterback, you can only do so much, but he was still a number 1 wide receiver, and people trying to shut him down. You can't really shut him down in college.
Yeah, him and Miles would have connected for probably over 20 touchdowns.
I think if Miles stays, I don't think there's a question as to whether he goes in the first round. I think he probably moves up a few spots, maybe to the upper 20s.
Jabril Cox.
Jabril Cox probably definitely a Friday guy. I think a second,
Yeah.
third round guy.
Yeah, I would say late second to early third. And I mean, a lot of people have been putting him in the Saints mock
I was
draft.
going to
And I
say
know that's
that.
kind of a thing where it's like New Orleans, LSU.
Sure,
It
yeah.
seems to never happen. So I'm not getting my hopes up for that.
Saints like have a ban on LSU players.
Besides Will Clapp, recently
Resigned. Yeah, that's right.
Will Clapp.
Yeah, big news.
But I would love Cox to the Saints.
Yeah, be fun.
I think he fits a need for sure.
Yeah.
He's really good coverage linebacker. I mean, we saw that all year. And definitely a guy who going to LSU only helped him and kind of showcased him to the rest of the world, what he could do as a linebacker. I don't know if he goes in the second or third round if he doesn't transfer here.
So who goes first, Jacoby Stevens or Tyler Shelvin?
I think Shelvin goes first. I think Shelvin's definitely a Saturday guy, probably early Saturday, probably fourth round. The thing with Shelvin is that like he's
still heavy.
He's heavy and he fits a need. Like only half the teams are gonna be able to draft Shelvin because it's gonna be somebody that plays in a 3-4 who needs a nose tackle. That's not everybody. He's not really a 4-3 type of guy. He might be a one tech there, but he's best suited as that run stuff in big nose tackle.
Where do you see Jacoby Stevens fitting in the NFL? Because I think that's also another thing with both those guys. It's like, do they have a position that is gonna like be there all the time, or is he only going to be in on some defensive sets? Like I don't know where he's going to play. I mean, he could end up playing like an outside linebacker almost, or a nickel. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. I think
he did look like he lost some weight though in the pro day.
Yeah,
and
I think he probably wants to push himself as like a strong safety.
Yeah,
kind of like a rush in the passer type of safety, one that plays a little closer to the line.
Almost like Jamal Adams a little bit.
But I mean, definitely not Jamal Adams, but the similar type of player is what he's kind of trying to push himself as.
Yeah, no, I would probably fit him in that same scheme where it's like Jamal's gotten better in pass coverage and Jacoby Stevens will have to get better at pass coverage to stick around the NFL for a long time.
Yeah. And I think that's a guy that you draft maybe 5th, 6th round who might not be there yet, might not be ready to play consistent downs in the NFL, but will give you good special teams play and
good leader, good person. And I think he's someone who can maybe develop in 2 or 3 years and be like a really good player in the NFL.
I agree. And then last guy or second to last guy off the draft board, and I think this is probably a bigger question, is do you see Kerry Vincent going or Jacoby Stevens going? Which one do you see going first?
Probably Jacoby Stevens. I think sitting out hurt Kerry Vincent a lot.
I think so too. And again, Kerry Vincent is like pretty much a nickel corner.
Yeah.
You can't really play him on the outside. He's got to play inside. He's a little bit too tiny to play on the outside. And I mean, you saw on the pro day, he's got speed and different things like that, but his days at LSU weren't super impressive. I was never like,
he really came along towards the end of that national championship run. He had the big game against Oklahoma, of course, that pick.
Yeah.
When they run that trick play and he comes flying across the field. I think the speed is so fast that someone will probably take a chance on him.
Yeah.
But he'll have to get probably stronger and a little bit bigger to hang around in the NFL.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, that's definitely a guy that we could have definitely used last year and would have helped. But it is what it is.
So what about Racy? I think Racy goes in the 7th round.
I think Racy's probably like a
I just think they look at his body and like there's some potential there, and then they go back to 19 and look at a couple highlights. I mean, there's some highlights of him playing special teams from 19 that might get him drafted and blocking downfield in the run game. He was really a guy willing to do everything. Whenever he came in, he scored a big touchdown against Mississippi State. So I hope he gets drafted and we can, keep the wide receiver train rolling in the NFL.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely agree. I think he's a 7th round guy. And another thing that is going to help Racy McMath is his special teams play. He's a guy like, Russell Gage.
Yeah.
Russell Gage probably made more plays than Racy at LSU. Russell Gage made some really good catches at LSU. But a guy who got drafted to play special teams, to be on your punt team, to be on your kick return team, things like that, just a guy who's going to go out there and play hard and really dig into special teams, because there are people on an NFL roster who will simply make it because they're good at special teams. You look at somebody like Justin Hardy, who's on the Saints forever, just got a nice contract with the Jets, simply for playing special teams. He really doesn't do much outside of special teams, but those players matter.
And speaking of special teams, I think ZVR could be drafted. I really do. And Roy, I think you said this last year that Blake Ferguson was the safest 6th-round pick in the entire draft because they drafted him to have that roster spot to fill a need.
Yeah,
you know?
100%.
So if there's a team out there, I don't know about every team's punter in the NFL. If there's a team out there, it's like this punter's getting old, his contract's getting a little up there. We can have this rookie punter come in. We really think he can be like a starter in the NFL. If they really trust him that much, then he could get drafted.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Again, like last year, it's a safe pick. You know, drafting that punter in the 7th round, and you know he's going to be a good punter. He showed it at LSU, and really last year was probably his best year all year. I mean, he punted really well last year. Really played the field position game well, consistently putting guys inside the 20 and different things like that. So
he was just aware too. Like whenever he'd punt and they'd be close to blocking him, he'd juke him out and whatever, and then still get the punt off. Like,
yeah, he's got a little athleticism.
The dude is wise behind his years. Like he is.
Yeah, they know they know they're drafting an adult. Like they know they're getting someone who's mature, ready, coming into work.
He's just a mature guy. Like he just, you know, he's wise.
That's what happens when you draft like a 29-year-old, but.
And Torrey Carter will be signed by the San Francisco 49ers. And Juice is always hurt. He's always hurt. Get TC in there, get him in that system, and he's dominant.
I mean, they might be one of like the 10 teams left, 49ers, the Saints, that use a fullback. But if you need a fullback and another guy who's going to play special teams for you.
Dude, he ends up on practice squad. Juice gets hurt. I mean, he slides in there, balls out.
I mean, he's going to throw a hit. He's not afraid. He's never been afraid to hit somebody, especially on special teams. So, and that people look at that and people want players who are not afraid to throw a hit. So
this will be the first year in 3 years, Luffy, 4 years. I know you have all of Barstool's notifications on your phone, but that Torrey Carter won't be nominated for the Low Man Trophy?
I guess so. I mean, wait, like this coming up here? Isn't that a college football season thing?
Right.
Yeah, I guess so.
It seems like every year.
Oh well, yeah, because it started while he was.
Yeah, Staple never.
So yeah, I mean.
Did we get everybody? Did we miss one guy?
I don't think we missed anybody. Another guy. Oh, I was thinking about this. Guy who Racing McMath reminds me of with his potential is a guy like Stephon Sullivan.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that same name comes to mind, but I think Racing may be a little bit better pass catcher.
I agree. I think he's better as a wide receiver than Stephon probably was. Definitely faster, but it's still that type of player, the project who is going to put the work in, play some special teams for you.
Fun fact about Sullivan, he had a tackle at the end this past year for the Seahawks.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Played a couple snaps at the end, yeah.
All right.
And Mac Jones the bus. Shout out Davis.
Did Davis text you today and say, hey,
no,
he should have said Mac Jones
no, he didn't. I'm shouting him out.
Okay. All right.
He was tweeting about it the other day.
So I think to I guess in the draft talk and kind of move on. One thing I want to say is that although I have been the biggest proponent of wanting things to get back to normal and wanting, an in-person draft and whatnot, but I want to say that I did kind of appreciate Goodell's incredible awkwardness last year, sitting in his basement, announcing the players and whatnot. But I'm very happy that it's going to be back in person.
It was just like way too much Goodell.
I know, but just to
it was just weird.
I want to see, not that I want to see Goodell, but he was so weird and there were so many jokes about it that it made it okay for 1 year.
That is true. It was funny. It was definitely a good Twitter moment. Usually those weird things like that end up being good Twitter moments.
All right. Before we get to our Ole Miss recap, we need to shout out our great sponsor, Mr. Blaine Loop with Keller Williams Realty. Rory, you know what? If Blaine was coming out of college this past year and was entering, say, the NFL draft, what pick do you think he would be? The answer is number one, okay? Because Blaine is
I think
the
he
best.
goes two. I mean, Trevor Lawrence is just a bit better of a prospect than Blaine.
Not at selling houses, not at buying houses or finding you a place to rent. Blaine is the best at what he does, and he cares about you. The one thing he cares about is finding you the house of your dreams, selling the house of your dreams to buy the new house of your new dreams, or helping you rent. He's Blaine Loop with Keller Williams Realty, a great friend and a great supporter of the Out the Box podcast. He wants you to know that interest rates are at an all-time low and the real estate market has never been hotter. At the speeds these homes are selling right now, you need a certified professional. Blaine will help you navigate your way to the house of your dreams. He'll be your friend, your neighbor. He might live next door to you, and your agent. Make sure to call or text Blaine Loop at any time.
Anytime.
He will get back to you, whether he does have to get his
if
rest.
you're up 4 a.m. looking at Zillow trying to find a house, just give Blaine a call.
To be as good as he is at what he does, he's a night owl and an early bird.
Yeah, he's like New York.
Exactly.
He doesn't sleep.
He doesn't sleep. And his number is 504-858-0031. And he also wants you to know that Keller Williams is an equal opportunity housing partner. Each office is independently owned and operated.
You know what? You know what Blaine Loop wouldn't do? Blow a 9-1 lead with 2 outs in the 8th inning.
All right, let's talk about the good first. I can't get to the bad. So LSU this weekend, Friday and Saturday, was the most exciting 18 innings of baseball that we have seen all year.
I agree.
Because LSU started out Friday night. It looked like it was going to be more of the same, right? They get out to an early lead in the first inning. Ole Miss starts to come back, and then in the 6th, all of a sudden the score 4-2, and then 7th inning, boom, explosion. You wouldn't have seen it coming, and
it was like a stick of dynamite with a short fuse.
It was like, and boom goes the dynamite.
Exactly.
And it was I watched that the other day too. Like, it was ridiculous, but when LSU has been down this year, right? You're not generally expecting them to come back and win, right?
Yeah.
So given the fight, the determination, this was I guess the real first time that, wow, we can actually beat the number 12 team at Swayze Field, which, by the way, looked awesome on TV, was very packed. You know, what are the outfield? What do they throw? Is that beer that they throw up every time?
Yeah, beer shower.
So then they just got to go get another beer? Or?
Yeah, no, John, you wouldn't do it. We know. That would be disrespectful to your, entire beliefs.
This is true. Would you throw that nice craft beer up?
I'm not saying I blame you. I
was just asking a question. But anyway, and that's sorry.
Goodbye, air drums.
Sorry. my sister was FaceTiming me. I'm gonna call her back. But the fight, the determination, the willingness to not give up, to go back out there and make a difference. And I think the story of the night was Cruz's home run. Right?
Yeah.
So you're down in the late innings or whatever. Morgan gets on base. Cruz blasts one over the fence. Then all of a sudden, you're right back in it.
Yeah,
and
100%. And that was huge because, and I think I tweeted this, the bats, we looked hopeless after that first inning. We really just did not look like we had a read at all on Ole Miss's pitcher. It did not look good. It looked like we had looked for a while, and I think that definitely brought some life into the team. And you're right, it was a turning point and what caused us to win the game. I think the more impressive win was Saturday for sure.
100%.
Friday night. It was a Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Dude, that's why I was getting confused just now because I was looking at him like he pitched Friday, but then I was trying to remember where I was at watching the game Friday and Saturday. And I was thinking of it in terms of a 3-game series, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But yes, I definitely agree. Friday night, you know, I think the thing that made it the most sweet was LSU. You know, they're up 2-1 in the 6th, kind of a boring game. Labus pitched very well.
Yeah. Pitched a gem. Probably his best pitching performance of the year.
Ole Miss's pitcher.
He's been great.
Labus.
Ole Miss's pitcher?
Yeah, he's also been great.
No.
This year?
No, yeah. He might have been good, but his mannerisms on the mound.
Oh, that
looking
kid.
at players like
the relief pitcher, not the starter.
Yeah, that's what. Oh, Nikhazy. Yeah, Nikhazy's been great.
Yeah,
but you know, and he battled. He gave up 2 runs in the first inning and battled. But Wes Burton, that dude was like cussing at players in the batter's box to himself. And I get it, like that might be part of the hype of trying to pitch as hard as you can, as cool as you can, but that dude just seems like he'd be kind of a tough guy to hang out with.
He could kick rocks.
Yes.
100%.
Yes.
We
definitely that definitely needs to be tweeted at Moscona on Friday. So this will drop today, Thursday. Make sure while you're listening to this to tweet at Moscona to tell Wes Burton to kick rocks. But anyway, let's get back to the, I guess the gem of a story. The story, there's 2 storylines that come out of Saturday. Obviously, or Friday, sorry. The Grand Slam.
Yeah.
Absolutely incredible. Dugas, as far as hitting goes and as far as being a fantastic for LSU, you know, among Trey Morgan, Thompson, and Cruz, Dugas is right there.
I think Dugas is really the straw that stirs the drink for us.
He's the guy that's been on the team. He's the veteran, and then you have the young players, Morgan, Cruz.
Yeah, Morgan and Cruz have been the most 2 consistent guys. We've talked about it all year.
Yeah.
They're absolute studs, and Jordan Thompson's coming along, and those 3 guys, I cannot wait to watch them over the next couple of years.
But I'll tell you what, Dugas, you know, he is stuck around the program, and this year he is making the best of every single. I mean, he's been out there in left field all year, and every at bat he makes the best of it. He gets the team fired up.
Yeah,
and
he really is.
It's exciting to watch.
You get guys like Cruz and Morgan who, you know, you're making a nice little mixed drink. Morgan might be the mixer. Cruz is you know, your alcohol of choice. But maybe Jordan Thompson's the lime on the side. But Dugas is really stirring that drink. He really gets the Tigers going for sure.
I like that.
Yeah, and I was so nervous going into that last inning before he hit that
100%.
bomb. I was with Jared Solomon. I was telling him, dude, I'm like actually nervous. Like I'm nervous right now. I do not feel good about this lead at all.
Wait. I forgot about this. So yeah, I don't know who was lurking on the Out the Box Twitter account. But somebody was like,
me.
"Oh, yeah, I knew it was you." Somebody was like, "Oh, I don't think this would be very good." So I switched over to my personal account and I said, "Have a little faith." And then you know what?
You gassed yourself up on the Out the Box Twitter account after.
I did, but we do that from time to time. That's why that's why people have burner accounts. That's why everything. But Labus pitched the whole game. I think it was very risky.
Oh, that's what we were tweeting about.
I think it was very risky sending him back out there. I liked the call, though.
I didn't like the call.
I like the call because you know what? When you got a guy that's going 8 innings, it's adrenaline. We had a sizable lead. Everything was in hand. I like the fact that they didn't even send anybody out to the bullpen. That if you send somebody out to the bullpen, Labus is gonna have somebody looking over his shoulder, right? Maneri had enough confidence to send Labus out there. He had pitched a fantastic game, and you know what?
See, this is where I differ, is because I feel like Maneri sent Labus out there because he did not trust anybody else. Because
I think it's because Labus wanted it.
Like, you really should not be pitching, especially a college pitcher, 120 pitches.
Yeah.
MLB pitchers don't reach 120 pitches.
He did throw 126 pitches, but he got a double play in the 9th. I'm almost positive. Huh? Yeah, he did it. That's what did it.
Yeah. So,
and he did give up 1 run in the 9th, but
it was it really
Wow.
showed Maneri's little faith in the bullpen. He did not have trust in the bullpen. I mean,
Yeah.
and understandably why we saw
Well,
on
you gotta
Saturday,
you
but
gotta go
like
with your best guy.
that really worries me going into the future. And we've talked about this a million times, but the bullpen is definitely the problem for this LSU team.
Well, I
or
mean,
one
we're
of the big
probably
problems.
contending in the SEC right now, at least like, battling, trying to move our way up there and get into maybe a 2 seed in a regional if we could have closed out a couple more of these games.
100%.
I mean, the bullpen, I was fine with leaving Levis in. I mean, he was a stud, 126 pitches. Like, what a great performance by him. I mean, him and Marcel have just been so good throughout this year, and they've kept us afloat the last 2 weeks.
100%.
We get into game 3?
Yeah, y'all talk about it.
So, I mean, I watched most of this game. I don't even know why. I just had it on. And, I mean, from the get-go, the beginning of the game, I think the first 4 innings of the game
We were dominating. We scored a run every inning up to the 5th inning.
I want to say we had.
It was 9-1. We scored 1, 2, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah. I mean, the game, the first 4 or 5 innings of the game lasted like 2 hours long because we were just hitting them around. Like we couldn't be stopped. And then it's absurd, but it's baseball. Is you got to get 3 outs. You got to play 9 innings. You got to get 3 outs every inning. I mean, you got to get 27 outs to win the game. And it's what makes baseball beautiful and miserable at the same time. Because a football game, if you're up, what's the equivalent 9-1? It's got to be like 35 points probably in a football game.
I'd say.
If you're up 35 points going into even the 4th quarter, not halfway through the 4th quarter, I mean, that game's over.
Yeah.
So to be up 9-1 going in the 8th with 2 outs, you got 4 outs to get and you have 8 runs was tough. I mean,
look, I get it. It's always these bad innings that just eat us up. And, put aside the giving it all up in 1 inning and whatnot. It's just, it's situational. And I think kind of it goes along with what you were saying, Rory, like heading into the postseason, the reason I genuinely believe we didn't win the College World Series in 2017, when we went up to Omaha Luffy, we watched LSU lose 2 straight to Florida, and that was it. Remember who was our starter for the first game of the championship series? It was Russell Reynolds. Yeah. Our pitching staff was not there.
Yeah, and then Eric got hurt, which kind of forced the hand of, and then
right.
Yeah,
but it ultimately the downfall of that team was pitching.
And, if Eric doesn't get hurt, I think we probably win that.
But it's because Lang was going to pitch.
Yeah, Lang. Yeah.
But it's just tough to watch a team that it kind of took the wind out of LSU's sails, right?
100%.
I mean, this is supposed to be when you go up to Swayze Field, number 12 team, Ole Miss. The atmosphere is wild. They have full capacity. You are supposed to. Our goal before that, we were talking about it, win 1 game. That's what we said. We said you go up there and you win 1 game. If you come home from that and you have 2 games, you're supposed to be happy. But when you give up 8 runs in an inning and ultimately
it felt like we got swept. It straight up felt like we got swept.
It was a straight up gut punch.
Yeah. Like Saturday after we lost that, it felt like we had lost 3 in a row. Honestly, it did not feel like we had won the series.
Yeah. And I mean, 6-12 in the SEC sounds so much worse than 7-11.
100%
to me. And I think to anybody kind of look the committee that's looking to put us in, and it would have just been a huge boost to the resume. And I'm glad we got to play the midweek game last night, because I think we needed to get a little bit of momentum back before this weekend, if we want to talk about that, which I'm a little scared to. But
yeah.
Speaking of momentum.
Before sorry, I sounded like a teacher, like talking over one of their students. But before we get to that, I really want to shout out Rally Cat Brewing. I'm actually drinking a Rally Cat Brewing beer right now. You have it right here. This can might stay here right next to the Rally Salt. This can's going to stay here. But shout out to Rally Cat Brewing. They I swear they're on pace to put out a beer every single week. I don't know how many weeks counting it's been, but they made a post the other day basically updating Rally Cat fans on basic news that's been going on. And then they just said at the end of the tweet, this is like their signature. They're like, we may even have some beer this week. So
they're grinding. It's baseball season. That's
what I'm saying. It's like they've been ready for this for the whole year. And, we've been over there a handful of times, and the atmosphere is crazy. They are constantly having food trucks coming in.
Yeah, the food truck they had Saturday looked absolutely insane. It was some barbecue food truck. We put it on a story. It looked amazing.
It did look very good.
I'm looking at a plate. I'm looking at one of the plates that Oak and Smoke Barbecue had. It is a fatty brisket with a side of mac and cheese, bacon potatoes, and some Texas toast.
I mean, can't beat that.
Ridiculous. Beer and barbecue. What more can you ask for? But Rally Cat Brewing is Baton Rouge's up-and-coming brewery. They're located in Industrialplex right off of Segan Lane. They could not have been more better sponsors for us. And I mean, I'm sitting there drinking their beer while
give us. So what are you drinking here?
So that is Rally Cap's like staple beer.
Okay.
And on the can, it says number 1.
Okay.
Because that is their first. That's the beer they open the brewery with.
Okay.
And to be honest with you, the consistency that this beer has shown, it's their first pitch. It was their first time out on the
throwing
mound,
strikes,
throwing it out, and now they have over 30 beers since their inception, and it's fantastic. I mean,
give us a review.
And we're tasking John once again to get some of the new beers and bring them in studio for us to drink.
Hey. I went into Calandra's the other day and I looked around and I decided I wanted Rally Cat. How about next week? Every week I'll pick up
a different kind of Rally Cat. Don't act like this is a chore. This is your hobby.
Every week I will pick up a new Rally Cat beer, at least for the time being. But also something just real quick that I want to mention that they did. They had a blood drive there the other day, and it was give a pint, get a pint. So
that's a solid deal for sure.
If you give a pint of blood, then they will give you a free pint of beer.
Is a pint of blood like a lot to give?
Well, I think you only have like 8 in your body.
No, so, you definitely have more than 8. No way.
I mean, if you fill this out with blood,
that seems like that would be a lot of blood. I mean, I don't know what the regular amount to give is. I'm sure it's a pint. I don't think they're trying to push people.
Yeah,
they're
trying to push you over.
10 pints. 10 pints. Roughly 8% of your body weight.
So you got to give a whole 1/10 of your blood to get a pint, I guess. I mean,
I'm sure it with beer. It turns into blood. That's Science 101.
Exactly. And I think one of our good friends of the Out the Box show, I'm not gonna say his name, but I had a good friend that used to give blood or plasma. And
I think we know who you're talking about.
And he would drink.
If you have any blood donation questions, that's your man, or plasma.
Hit us up and we'll get you in touch with him. But, all right, let's look ahead. This weekend series against Arkansas. Finally, we have a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday series coming to the box, full capacity. The announcement was made today, but yesterday the mandate was lifted.
Yeah.
So there's going to be Alex Box. I have no doubt in my mind is going to be rocking this weekend.
100%. I completely agree with you. If you haven't bought tickets yet, there's definitely still some tickets. I saw a bunch in the grandstands, chairback seats, beautiful stuff. Get out, see some baseball this weekend for sure. Checking the weather right now. Let's see.
Give us a Grimy.
Well,
a Jay Grimes. I don't know anything that grimy is like a weird thing. I don't know.
All right. It looks like a decent weekend for baseball, for being honest. We have a 60% chance of rain on Friday.
A decent? That's you would
no,
never make
it's
it
gonna
as a
quit. It'll
weatherman.
quit by game time, though.
This is true. It'll definitely quit by game time. That's what we're saying. That's what's going to happen. We're Bob Breck. Shout out Nola. Saturday looks like a beautiful day. High of 84, low of 66. Just a beautiful day for baseball. Sunday, 50% chance of rain, but again, it never rains in Alex Box Stadium.
Mm.
So get out there, see some baseball this weekend, full capacity. We welcome in the top team in the nation for the past 4 weeks, Arkansas Razorbacks. Probably the best team in the nation. I mean, they are number one, pretty much a consensus number one. They've been top. They've either been 1 or 2 in every poll since the preseason poll, which
Good.
is the only team that can say that. Vanderbilt was number 3 in the preseason poll. So they have been 1 or 2 all year. Just a very well-rounded team. They hit the ball well. It's going to be a challenge, 100%.
I think challenge is the right word.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's going to be an uphill battle.
Like you said, they're good at pretty much everything.
Yeah.
There's no real weakness.
Not at
You're going to
all.
have to go out there. We're going to have to hit the ball. When runners are in
Thanks.
scoring position, we're going to have to get them across. If not, then we're going to lose.
Yeah,
I mean,
100%.
and the bullpen's going to have to come through because if we were to get the performances that Levis and Marceau have given us each of the last few weeks, I mean, we're still going to have a stellar bullpen, performance because they're that good.
100%. They have one of the best lineups, and something that they're really good at, which is 100% going to play into an LSU weekend, is they're really good at taking pitches, getting pitchers high in the count.
Yep.
They don't swing it a lot. They don't swing and miss. They make contact with the ball. They play really good defense. Pretty much the best defense in the SEC, just consistent. The one spot that they might be lacking on where they're not probably the best in the SEC is with their pitching, but they're still top 3, top 4. Still got great guys Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's going to be a test. And you know what? To be the best, you have to beat the best.
You said the same thing last week. We went up to Oxford, and, as weird as it felt coming home, we still beat the number 12 team 2 out of 3 games. Baseball is such a funny game. LSU, I'm not going to say just yet that they're ascending at the right time, but if Marceau and Labus can keep doing what they're doing, going deep into games, I think it is not unreasonable at all to think that LSU could come out and play very well this weekend. Maybe, I mean, I don't know, 1, 2, maybe even 3 games. We had a sweep against the number 12 team.
I'm predicting a sweep. LSU sweeps them.
Might predict a sweep the other way, but we're an LSU podcast, so I can't do that.
Can you imagine if they would have bet? Can you imagine if somebody would have bet that LSU was going to sweep Ole Miss last weekend, and then they won Friday?
That would have been a horrible
Thursday,
beat.
Friday, and then Saturday ended up.
That would have been a miserable beat.
I would have made SVP.
I think the most important game has got to be Friday night. You don't win Friday night, it's going to be tough not to get swept.
Yep. I mean, we've been kind of saying that every week. Like, if we don't win, we've got to win Friday.
I think the atmosphere is going to be electric Friday night, 100%. Marceau on the mound. One of the best pitchers in the SEC for sure. He showed it. He's going to have to come with his A game. Hopefully he brings it. Alex Box is going to be rocking. If he gets Alex Box rocking Friday night, anything can happen. It's baseball, like you said. Going to be huge to have everybody in there. And we're going to need everybody because it's that type of series. So I'm hoping for 1, or I think we get 1. I'm hoping for 2. Arkansas has not lost a series all year, but you know what? They got to lose one. They got to lose one. We got to rally.
You know what they should do is get Kim Mulkey to come give the pregame speech.
She'll be there. She's going to bench press Paneri to fire up the team.
I love that. I love that. Can you imagine if she walked into a huddle and all the players are used to Paneri and she's like, "Look here, right now, you're gonna win this game today," and put her in the dugout. Who cares?
Yeah, I agree. We need her on the first base line, maybe above the dugout, where she's just slapping.
She can hang over the overhang of the dugout.
Yeah.
Throw a basketball at someone's face or just something All right, let's get to the House Always Wins segment presented by the House Bar in Tigerland. The House Bar looks fantastic. The owners over there, we know them well, and they could not be more happy that this pandemic is coming to an end and things are kind of getting back to normal. The capacity restriction or whatnot are being eased up, and the house bar is open and ready to serve you. The food that comes out of that kitchen is class one,
Class A.
grade A. Yeah, I don't know why I went with the numbers when I should have said the letters, but either way, it's fantastic. And if you don't believe me, make sure to follow them on Instagram at House in Tigerland and on Twitter at Tigerland House.
Also, soon, month of May, DJ Road Dogg making a house return.
House bar. Let's go.
Already locked it in. So
let's go.
We'll be back on the 6th soon enough.
Wow.
Feeling like normal.
We will definitely promote that, and
we will.
And we will be out there. But Rory, how'd you do in the House Always Wins segment?
Beautiful. I hope everybody took
no, dude.
Nice.
Over John.
No, Luffy, how'd you do?
I forgot to tweet out a pic.
It doesn't matter. You know why it doesn't matter? Because I gave the people a plus 250 winner. It's like me and Luffy both won. That's how much money you won.
Yep.
You won double your money. So it's like me and Luffy both won just regular picks.
All right.
Beautiful stuff.
What's your pick for this week?
Well, I'm still talking about last week's pick. Told you last week, Usman was pissed off at Masvidal for talking that stuff about not having a full camp. Came out, hit him in the mouth. Masvidal, weak chin. Usman didn't even need to go to the feet. Didn't even need to do the foot stomping stuff to win. Knockout, plus 250. Beautiful stuff. Hope you took it.
All right,
took me over, John. This week, I'm hitting a little LSU connection. NFL draft, put in early. It'll be tomorrow night, Thursday, when you're hearing this. Today, Jamar Chase, under 5.5.
I got that too.
We can't all pick the same pick.
No, we can't.
So
Lovey's always been okay with that.
That's what I was going to pick when I looked at everything. So. We didn't conspire.
We didn't conspire at all. So I will.
Because I think he's going to Cincy.
I think he's going to Cincy as well. So maybe we'll call that a dual pick, but I will come back with another pick. Give me a second.
Uno can't guard Jamar. Let's go.
I guess you could technically double down on a pick by taking Penny Sewell to go over 5.5.
Yeah, you could. I mean, yeah. Because he's probably not going 3.
Falcons, yeah.
So, yeah, I like that.
Wait. So I'm looking at a bet right now that says
both.
I'm looking at a bet right now that says who will be drafted first, out of 2 people. So why? So all right. So let me ask y'all this. So
damn, you got some. See, I didn't have that many props. That's what kind of wanted to go.
Is there any reason why Jamar Chase wouldn't be drafted before Pitts if he goes to Cincy? Who is Pitts projected to go to?
He's been the Falcons at 4.
Yeah, the Falcons. A lot of
before the Bengals.
Before the Bengals.
Well, that makes sense why he's minus 360 before Chase.
Yeah. You know what you should put in?
Oh.
Trevor Lawrence minus 10,000 to go number 1.
Slock.
Yeah, or Jamar Chase minus 14 to be the first
wide receiver.
Yeah, or minus 1,400.
Is it that big? Wow.
I'm gonna do. Let's see. All right, Mr. Irrelevant.
Huge line.
Mr. Irrelevant. It is a bet to see who would be the last picker in the NFL draft. Offensive player, Mr. Irrelevant. Cool. Defensive player, Mr. Irrelevant. I'm gonna go offensive.
I like that.
Wait, let me see your odds, John, because I don't have mine pulled up. Well, I'm trying to get a diffent pick for the people.
You shouldn't talk so much trash.
I mean, I'm sorry. I'm giving out winners.
I had 5 props.
Hold on. I just had to place the bet. I'm sorry. This is horrible podcasting, but Luffy was so lazy he couldn't find a pick.
That was just my pick, just because he went first.
Mm-hmm.
I've dominated this segment.
All right. While he's looking for a pick, seriously, can we talk about that dude's leg snapping clean in half? I almost threw up whenever I saw his leg come down because he felt like it was still there. Right?
Yeah. It was disgusting.
That was just absurd. And then the knockout with the water coming off his face was awesome. It was a great
That might have
fight.
been the most entertaining UFC undercard and main event that we've seen in a while.
All right.
Yeah. Oh, and I mean, fights just keep getting bigger with lately with UFC. And then
shout out our boy AJ Fletcher.
Yeah.
got
Yep.
his added another win to his belt. He's AJ's getting to the point. We'll probably have him back.
Dana
on the
White,
show.
call the man up.
Yeah, seriously.
Call the man up.
We're
Because
probably
Dana White listens to this podcast.
No, he does. We're gonna have AJ back on soon, and maybe we'll throw a teaser out there to Dana White, get his attention, and then we'll be responsible for getting AJ into the MMA.
So
he's already in the MMA.
I'm taking
UFC.
Chase under 5.5 as my house always wins pick, but I'm adding on an extra pick just to give to the people. I've been hearing whispers of this. Rashawn Slater plus 300 to go before Penei Sewell. I've been hearing whispers that the Giants at 6 or 7 and the people picking in the 6th and 7th range have Slater over Sewell because Sewell didn't play last year, so they haven't seen enough tape on him. They're taking Slater. So a little put a little half unit down, Slater plus 300 to go over Sewell.
And that's your house always wins picks for this week and our show. You're making a lot of noise in the microphone, Luffy, but
No one's listening at this
that you
point.
don't
Shout out the
care.
few that are still
I
listening.
see that you don't care. I think everybody is. Shout out to the House Bar in Tigerland. Shout out to Workbox LLC. Blaine Loops with Keller, not Loops, Loop. Blaine Loop with Keller Williams Realty and Rally Cat Brewing. And also shout out to the home of the Out of the Box podcast, the Boot Crew Media Network. We could not do it without you guys. And Luffy, I want you to, I'm wondering why at this point in I guess the I don't know, man.
Goodbye, everyone. I'm going to study.
No, wait. What's the draft one? Yeah,
That's like CBS.
Oh, wait, what is it? No.
That's Sports Center.
I have it saved.
It's like
beautiful.
Yeah, let's just do that for the final song. Just hold it up.